Welcome y'all to the Reality or Not podcast. We in tune with your boy DJ Reality, and we got my cousin, one of my great friends, Brian Clincy. Nothing new under the sun. Founder. How you doing, Brian?
Hey man, I'm blessed and impressed with the life that God gave me.
Okay.
What about yourself?
I'm
What
good,
what
man.
the
I'm
t-shirt
hot,
say?
nigga. I'm hot as shit. But if this world was mine,
Oh, okay.
From the Kendrick concert and shit. Um,
Roman numeral number
yeah,
9.
nigga, hot as shit in here. No central air, but otherwise we go we go get it in. I'm like sitting up here trying to stay still so the sweat don't trickle down my stomach and shit. But other than that, man, I'm doing pretty good, man.
Man, when
So
you sweat, you burn the calories.
and look, it's still uncomfortable. I'd rather be sweating outside in the sun than sweating inside in the house.
All right, well then let's go ahead and jump into it to get you out the hot box.
So, yes, sir. I'm like, God damn, it's hot up in here. Like no central air, no nothing. It's a AC sitting over here. But I'm like, man, I gotta plug that up. I gotta put the thing in the window and all that. Like, I ain't got no time for all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it's supposed to be 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday
Okay.
there today. So it's supposed to be like 80s, like 81 or something. Well, might even be 70s.
Well, shit. I gotta see what the temperature is because goddamn, I mean, it's probably hotter in here than it is outside and shit. But but it's hot enough. Oh, it's like 71. Ain't too
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
ain't too bad. But it's probably about 85 in here.
Yeah.
So
Yo, so Sean, let me before we jump into everything, like Elon Musk and Donald Trump is mixing words, right? We've all had our mix of words before. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is different when you beefing with your friend? Or maybe do you think they really was friends, or do you think like this is just a publicity stunt for both of them to get more clicks?
It's about money. If we could get money together, you my friend, publicly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it came down to with them too. I mean, it's just, once Musk realized like, hey, cause shit, I think I told you I was thinking about getting a Tesla. Like once Musk realized that the value of his brand was gonna go down, he kind of like started backing away. And they were saying that the Tesla model or the Tesla car is at it, not at its lowest, but it was dropping as far as the stock and all that stuff. So, I think, like I said, I think it was really just for the exposure to for them to make money together. But as I said, he's losing money. So of course it's going to be like, hey, I'm gonna back out. I'm not I'm out of here, and I'll go back to focusing on my stuff because what do you have the game to be associated at this point? So
yeah, but I mean, he made himself a great scapegoat. Like he didn't, like Musk always makes these big promises and under delivers, but people thinks that he's awesome. But just the bravado between these two, like I'm like, and like man, we had our spat before where we like, but do it get personal? Like it personal, and then does the personal? Okay, so I know beefs create revenue, right?
Yeah. I mean, but look at it like this, right? Everybody that's been associated to Trump, they benefited until they didn't benefit, right? So you're talking Musk, you're talking Kanye, you talk like all of these narcissistic type of individuals, they're taking advantage of the opportunity to be associated, whether you're pulling in a different market, within the red community with Trump. And it's like, you look at, I mean, you had Kanye damn near, I mean, not damn near, but niggas wearing a black KKK outfit. Yeah. it's like, bro, like, I mean, I get you standing on business, but I mean, like, now you're just kind of like out here for clicks. But I don't know. It's interesting what's going on, within the political scene right now. But
okay,
what's your take on it?
My take is all about the money. I think he realized that this bill is going to cut him out more money than it's going to add him in. Like it takes, like I'm a solar guy. I'm a green guy. I think that this bill that's going through his new, and like I want to be one of the beneficiaries of his bill because I think companies and people with high value will be. I think anybody who's making over $200,000 a year will benefit from this bill more because they'll have less tax liability. But there is cost associated with it. that I think that we like. Yeah, I think the whole war of words is like Trump loves to get. I'm gonna call him attention whore, just like I call Kanye attention whore. I don't even usually say
all
Ye name.
in the same lane.
Yeah. I mean, and I was like, I both don't. I usually don't say both of their name. Like when I speak on it, I'll be like that dude or whatever because I don't want to be associated with even. And like I am a Trump hater. So if anybody listens to this, I don't like the dude. The dude is, to me, you can't be a businessman but always cutting your backhand on a business deal. If we make a deal and you say, bet this is what the deal is, I feel like if you change the deal at the end of the deal because you just want to make some more money, I feel like that's some whole shit. So
but on that though, I feel like some people use that as like using his leverage to do that stuff. And sometimes businesses kind of like, not just with Trump, but businesses in general tend to do that based off of, you know, what they have, you know, their leverage. But I don't, you know.
Yeah, but it's crazy how tech has bowed down to this dude. Like Jeff Bezos hating him at first, and then Mark Zuckerberg, and now they just all on the tit. Like that's crazy to me because if I'm a man and I say I don't like you, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying?
But,
like,
but if I'm a man and say I don't like you, then you be like, okay, let me try to put some tariffs on your shit where it's going to impact probably about a good 30 to 40% of your business. You be like, hey, look, maybe maybe I need to talk to him and see if I can work something out.
But now I'm looking at my business practices like maybe this ain't the lane I stay in. You know what I'm saying? When this dude got that much effect on my growth, and I'm gonna tell you, like I hate Trump, but I appreciate that he is affecting regular niggas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have never seen so many people, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm with it.
like when I've lost many of jobs or whatever, right? But when people have worked for the federal government for 20 years and then they're like, yo, I don't have a job, like this ain't cool. That is so funny to me because I'm like, yo, we got to do what it takes to make it roll. And like, I'm gonna tell you, Trump has jacked up my life, like on my 3 different ways I'm getting money, right? Like my stock market, my Bitcoin, and the job situation. I had worked for a federal agency. So like, you know,
the tricky part with the federal thing, right? I mean, I know quite a few people that were impacted by it. Like I said, it's a gift and a curse of that because, I mean, of course, you know, they were impacted, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people were, I want to say a lot, but there were people that were comfortable just because they were in a federal job versus like it was people felt more, and don't get me wrong, I think you should have some stability within your career, but it made people think twice to like, okay, well, Trump's over here doing this. Now I got to figure out something different because I was impacted, you know, versus like you looking at everybody else that was impacted by the, you know, recession or depression and things like that. And you're just looking at it like, well, I'm federal, so I'm always gonna have a job type of deal. And it's like that's not the case anymore. So I mean, you're out here like we're out here. It's almost like even, you know, people when they were voting for Trump, you know, the people that was impacted that, you know, that voted for him, but yet he's deporting you now. It's like, well, I mean, you know, is it right? Is it wrong? I mean, you know, you voted for him, so
all of it is right because he won. You know what I'm saying? So like, he get to do. I ain't no sore loser. You get to do whatever you say you was gonna do. You won. You got it. I didn't think you could execute like this, but the dude.
No, Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump, but I'm a fan of how he's able to get things done. Like if he says this is going to get done, it gets done. You could say that about, you know, you can't really say that about a lot of the presidents that we had in the past. Like that dude really, if he says, hey, look, I think I told you about my student loans, man. And like he was like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to start paying those. I'm like, all right, well, let me start looking into some programs now, before my check starts getting garnished. Just because I know that it's coming down the line. I'm not going to be the one to be like, man, my check got garnished. You know, like, nah, I'm already bracing
Be
myself to make
proactive
sure my
versus
money
reactive,
is together and everything's together before that even happens, you know.
But again, that's being proactive instead of reactive. And I'm like, I'm gonna jump into some of the other topics. Like my mama always told me, don't count money that ain't in your hand. And like
that's some
we
old
talked
shit.
about these sayings and stuff, right?
That's
That's the
old,
saying
old
I
people
live by.
shit.
Huh?
I said that's some old people shit.
Oh yeah, don't count money that ain't in your hand. Like that's
Don't
worse
step
than
on the cracker to break your mama's back.
right. But the merit is, and I have to live by this. Like I can't, man, my feelings was hurt back in I want to say April. Yeah, I went April. I had a contract with this company, and like it was about to start coming in. I think the development work that we was going, we was making $10,000 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
They sent me 2 days later. Some terrorists or something happened or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like something happened in the market. They lost market capital too, but like something happened, and then it was like, yo, we're gonna have to go in a different direction.
Yeah, we got to pause this, so we got to look at this 6 months down the line or 3 months.
Yeah, we got to push this out. Yeah, that's what it was. He was like, we're gonna push this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, I was like,
it messes up the money.
Yeah, dog.
And you was expecting it. You signed it. You was ready to go.
Yeah,
you was ready to buy. Look, I don't like to borrow money from people that say, "Hey, I got you on my next check." That's some bullshit. Like you may not have the next check, or you might get that check and you got to use that money for something else. Just let me know when you go give me my money.
Right.
I want money on your next check.
The other saying is, as long as I owe you enough to be broke, that's somebody who ain't trying to pay you.
That's some whack ass shit to say. It's like
these are all things that I remember being told. Like as long as I owe you enough to be broke, right?
I want to hear that shit. I want you to not owe me.
But you know what?
So I'm never broke. It's like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy about that is like now I've been asking people about my money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like people like, yo, you really want this shit? Right? Yes, I really want because like I used to be like, yo, if I gotta ask you more than twice, I'm begging, right? I feel like I'm begging.
Well, I gotta ask you about like my guy. It was funny. I was talking to him. This is like this past week. You know, he was like I said, I didn't not necessarily I wrote it off as far as him not gonna pay me back, but I know he gonna pay me back. But you know, like I was telling him how I was coming into town, like into the Shy. He was like, "Oh man, I got something for you." I was like, "Nigga, I ain't, like don't stress yourself. Like I'm not texting you to get the money from you. I'm just texting you, letting you know I'm gonna be here. Like I didn't know, not necessarily. Like I said, I ain't wrote it off. I just know that you probably ain't in the best position to give it to me right now. So I'm just telling you, I'm coming to town. Let's kick it." You know, but it's just funny that you know people automatically go to the, you know, like if they owe you some money, they be like, "Oh shoot, I got that." I was like, "Nah, man, like just let if you say, hey, look, I got your money on August 23rd, I'm hitting you up on August 16th to be like, yo, we still good for August 23rd." You know?
Yeah, and that's all I really want to know, so I can see how I sit, right?
Yeah,
because what and
that 250 I let them use. I don't like not that I can't use it, but you know, I'm not gonna stress him out on that. I know he ain't got it now. If this nigga taking trips and I see him in the club with the bottles like this, then yeah, I mean I got a problem. But other than that, nah, I mean, as long as you ain't stunting on me, I'm good. So
that's what's up. That's a I just tell people I'm paying people off because like paying people not to talk to me, right? Because when people owe you money, they try to avoid you. Like you said, you call them and they're like, "Hey, oh yeah, I'm a holler at you." Yeah, no, whatever.
Look, I just thought that with my mom. Like, it was like I wanted to eliminate the relationship from being transactional. I'm like, nah, I don't need that. Nah, I'm good. I'll figure it out. Just because I know that, you know, when it gets to the transactional part, it's almost not necessarily like where my money at or anything like that. But I just know that I want relationships to be more than just transactional. I want them to be budding relationships. Like, I mean, if I hit you, I'm not hitting you. I'm not calling you to be like, yo, with my money. I'm calling you to be like, yo, what's up? You good? How's everything going? You know, I'd rather have that kind of energy towards somebody than trying to, you know, figure out where my money is at. Like, just
Man,
send me
that's
where
kind
you
of
got my money. We'll figure it out.
that's kind of twofold because like I am hitting you up. Like I want to be nice. I want to hit people up just to say what's going on. But at the same time, like I was just in Muskegon and I found myself doing the same thing I tell people. Like I'm like, man, I gotta
This
get
nigga walking around with a book, like check.
No, man, you talk to somebody and it's all bad news, right? You're like, man, I get up here. I got this building permit, and this they took me through the ringer, and I hate starting with negativity, dog. Like, man, I'm up here doing my thing, trying to get my business.
Always got issues, then it's you. That's how I look at it. Like, we all got, like I told you, like my back and my shoulder killing me, and this, da da da. Like these are things I can't fix. But like if I always need to borrow $20, then something's wrong with me. I need to figure out how to get $100 so I ain't got to borrow $20 from somebody, right? Like,
but that's being again. So this is what I really want to hammer on to this point. That's being, instead of being like, because I see it all the time. People being reactive. Oh, I don't have the money. Where am I gonna get it? Nigga, you see it coming. Be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like, or figure a way out. Or like, I've never understood how people how people get their lights turned off. You know what I'm saying? You need the money. They will turn it off. Like, you just gonna let it hit you?
Listen, look. I was talking to Alice about this yesterday, and we were talking about how people not taking care of specific. I ain't gonna say the other people that's a part of it, but like people not taking care of certain things within the, like having a car or having a place to live. Like those are always gonna be number one, number two for me. Like I'm always gonna have a car because I need a car. Like if I got to drive to my job, so and I need to get to my job to make money. So if I lose my car, then I can't get to my job to make money. So now I'm screwed to be able to get a car, or I'm screwed to be able to pay for my home or rent or whatever. So it's just like the bare necessities should always be taken care of. You should always have some food. You should always have a phone. Like I don't understand how, people can have their phone on do not disturb but don't have no job. It's like, like what? Are you just not answering the phone when these, like, and then too, it's a mindset. Like, are you even applying, for jobs if your phone is like, turned off and stuff like that? Like, oh shoot, I forgot to charge my phone. I just put it on the charger at 2 p.m. It's like so from 9 to 2, you just wasn't talking to nobody and you wasn't working. What the? Were you asleep? Were you, I don't know what. Like I said, I don't have to fully understand what people got going on because it just doesn't matter to me anymore. But at the same time, it's like, wait a minute, your phone died at 11 a.m. and you're at home. Like, why's your phone dying? And the plug is probably right there or whatever. It's like, sometimes people logic doesn't
They
make
ain't got no charger. The iPhone people are notorious for stealing people's charger.
Dude, you at home. You should have a landline charger. Like you should always have something. Like there's no reason why you should not be at home and your phone isn't available to you at all. Like, I mean, you could forget the charge, you might lose it or something like that. But other than
really,
that,
people that don't want to talk to, I mean, like you honestly don't want to talk to somebody. Like, okay, so sure.
But then how do you not talk to somebody if you want a job? How do you not talk to somebody if you want these things? And like that's just weird to me. Like I said, not necessarily.
It's the same. I feel the same way about people that just apply online for jobs and don't do nothing different. Ain't getting no calls, ain't getting nothing, and they don't do anything different. They just keep applying. I'm like, God damn.
There's no ideas original though. That's just them like just trying to say I did this just for the sake of doing this. It's like, did you reach out to them? Like I said, I can't speak for everybody's situation because honestly, most of the time now where I'm at within my career, I get hit up like from recruiters and stuff like that. Like, hey, what do you think about this job? What do you think about this job? And I'm still applying, to these different companies and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't just apply to them and not think that I don't have a chance, So when you're saying apply online, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it works for certain people, but like you got to try something different. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah.
That is the definition of insanity. So I'm like, yo, did you change your resume? Do you have a resume? What's on your resume? Like, yeah,
I literally change my like if I don't get no responses within like 2 to 3 weeks, just from all of the ones I submitted within that time frame, I'm like, okay, let me add this. So let me take from the rec that they provided and plug that right in, and then just make it. I mean, because most of the time, I just be, not to say I'm missing things, but I just don't have all of those intimate details on my resume. I have done some of those things, but some people just, like I said, I mean, like you said, definition of insanity, where they just keep doing it over and over again, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But then again, like one of the topics is if you're not progressing, you're regressing, right? It's
Right.
like, well, how are you making yourself better? Like, what do you do on a daily basis to make yourself better? Like for me, I'm like, well, let me, look into this. Let me try to figure out this. Let me, even if it's something as simple as cultivating relationships and stuff like that, because I know that I could be a very isolated person where I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and call and reach out, blah, blah, blah. Let me, do this because I normally wouldn't do this, but how am I, making myself better, from just as a person.
Well, I think that's the overall goal, right? So to me, and I don't know, to me, like I tell you, every day I'm gonna be a better version of myself, right? How do I become that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked, like I even asked my daughter, I was like, every day you're trying to be a better version of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you learn today that you can apply, or what did you learn yesterday that you can apply to be a better version of you? Hey, I'm eating earlier, so I don't fall asleep with food on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Or like I'm yeah, it's
I went for a walk for 10 minutes instead of the walk that I've never taken. Or
right.
I'm gonna eat a salad today instead of, eating fried
Chips.
chicken or something like that, or
Yeah.
chips or something like that. It's like, well, like you always have to constantly evolve. Like I feel like a lot of people get stuck in what they used to be able to do versus like what they could do now. Like I mean, bro, like I used to hoop probably about a good 3 or 4 times a week and never get tired. Like if I try to go hoop now, I mean, I could still hoop. I mean, I'll probably be pulling more jump shots than anything, and I'm definitely not going to the hole because people be hacking. But I'm just saying in general, like I know that I can't do the things that I was able to do before at the rate that I was doing them at. So it's like, well, try something different. Just like with eating, like I know that I can't eat a bag of Doritos and Mountain Dew on a daily basis and not, be impacted by that. Like shoot, 20s and in high school, junior high, like I could do that and that shit would just burn right off.
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes people get stuck in that. Oh well, I mean, not even trying to capture what they did in the past. They just don't look to how they can evolve to move forward.
And then, so even looking at that, right? So now I look at my things like Top Golf is one of the things that I like to do. Joined the league, met some really interesting people, met some really,
They have leagues.
huh? Yeah, they have leagues.
I
Yeah,
know that.
but Shante, if you do a league and you do it on, they call it as agent league, because like I don't know nobody who was going to do a Top Golf league with me, so I got in a pool and they made the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do it, be serious about everything. That I just was doing it to play Top Golf a little bit. The first time I did it to play Top Golf a little bit more. Like, yeah, I'm gonna work on this because, like,
But that's
as
progressive.
you get older,
Like,
your
that's
sports
progressive.
change, right?
You're learning something from that, even if like you only know what you know, right? Like remember we went to Virginia or the ramen place, and you were just like, man, I don't want to eat no Maruchan or whatever ramen. I was like, no, this ain't that. But if you had never went to the place to see it, then you'd have still thought like, oh man, they ain't eating that dollar ramen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, no, it's a whole different like. That's why learning, like trying things and learning things, and like I said, some things could be great for you, some things could be terrible for you, but at least you saw it and you didn't just are automatically discounted just because of, I don't know, stereotypes or the way that you thought it would be.
But again, it's getting out of your not getting out of your comfort zone, but getting out of your environment. Like we were born and raised in Muskegon, Michigan. You had the opportunity to go to Texas and live a year in Texas, so that was different for you. But like I fully believe that if you don't, because what you think your world is centered around, it's not. It's so many other things, and there's so many things in this world that's moving that stuff don't even really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, Texas opened my eyes to it being a bigger world, whereas Mississippi made it a smaller world. But I witnessed both, and I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, there's more out here than just what's in front of you.
Yeah, and see, like getting to Pittsburgh and like even like in Detroit, like I tell people about Detroit because like I didn't know. Well, for one, before I went to school in Flint and my boys took me to Detroit, I didn't know how black Detroit was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how many brick houses that they had in Detroit. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo. And to be on the side of like where we from, and it's mostly white people, and then you got your areas of black people, and being where everybody in the whole city was black, I was like, yo, where y'all white people at? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, Atlanta is like, not to say it's a culture shock because we all know how black it is now based off of music and stuff. But, like I remember going to Atlanta for the first time. It was maybe around like 2003 or 2004. And I probably should have, now I'll tell this story in a second, but I probably should have went before that. And that's just because it would have been a free trip. But anyway, ended up going around 2003, 2004. And at that point in time, Atlanta was kind of in, like, Outkast is my favorite group, so it wasn't like I wasn't as familiar with them, but I had never been there. So, and it was funny too. I remember talking to Greg about, no, take that back. I'd been to Atlanta before that because I went, but I went as a kid. I didn't go as an adult. So I went to go see Greg type of stuff. Like,
as a young
yeah. So
adult.
it was literally go here, go here, go here, and then back to Muskegon or wherever I was at. But when I went as an adult, I was like, oh shoot, this is way, like this is, and mind you, this is the Big Meech, Jeezy, Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins, T.I., Bone Crack, all these rappers, whatever. Like, this is in Atlanta is just like popping like that. So it's just like to go and just see a city that's like burgeoning in nothing but black. That shit was just amazing to me. Like I said, I mean, I didn't move down there till like maybe 20 years later, but it was just it was an eye opener. Like, well, no, look, because at one point in time, like my whole plan was to move to New York, and then I was like, but because even when I went to New York, like New York was an eye opener. Like, it was a culture. It was literally, it wasn't like strictly black. It was a melting pot, and it showed me like, oh well, shoot, if you want to be gay, if you want to be white, you want to be black, you want to be Indian, you want to be whatever you want to be, like everybody's just,
if you just want to be weird, you can walk down the streets of New York and make money doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a cowboy out there in his drawers.
Yeah, just and like you could be on your own niche and still, and like it was literally you being yourself, in whatever group you fit in, it worked for you. But it wasn't really like that, because not to say it was a small-minded way of thinking, but it was kind of, a small city way of thinking of, okay, this is, I mean, I remember was it Smooth with the Roughness, the R&B group, and they was coming out of Muskegon. It was like, and they had the little song that was going up against Aisha or whatever, ABC. It was like, oh shoot, they do it, but it was literally kind of, they were a smaller group, but they were trying to, in my opinion, take it a little bit higher than what the city had to offer for them. So, and I thought that was kind of dope,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I look at us and like, so every city that I've been has opened my eyes, and like, and then this is one thing that I was like, look, like being in Florida and seeing how these subdivisions are created and like seeing how they getting money. It's these developers. These are property developers, real estate developers, or whatever you want to call them. But basically, they come in, get some land, sell a few pre-sales, and get some builders and start building houses, right? And you're like, yo, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? These cats are making millions of dollars doing $1 million multi-million dollars doing $1 million projects, right? I'm like, yo, I see the blueprint.
Yeah.
And then you create a HOA where you can suck more money away from these cats. You know what I'm saying? And but getting out of your environment and seeing what these other things do, and how other things work, and being attentive. Like, I don't know how people are supposed to get better. I don't know how people are supposed to progress, but I can tell you that I listen more than I speak. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out this dude. This dude said he worth $1 million, and like, I want to know, how'd you make your first million? You know what I'm saying? I gotta listen to it. I can't tell him what he doing wrong if I ain't made $1 million. And I see a lot of people that do that really online. Like, oh man, yeah, all he did was did that. I ain't never seen you drive anything newer than a 10-year-old car. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think sometimes people think that they know, they can look at somebody's business from the outside and be like, oh, all he did was this, and this, rather than understanding like the effort and energy that person put in it. I mean, I think that most businesses can be started without, I don't think it's difficult, but they did all of the due diligence to make sure that it was easy,
Well,
because it goes like property ownership. People think like, oh, well, if I buy, it's almost like the Field of Dreams. If I build this, it would come. It's like, well, nah, that's like, I was talking to China about this yesterday about she has a house, and she was saying how, well, if I move, I just rent it. I was like, you know how hard it is to get some. I mean, not to, I wasn't trying to talk against what she was saying, but I was like, you know how hard it is to get somebody to rent your place, and then how hard it is to get good tenants. And then even the good tenants, quote unquote, they may be the, just starting a family. Like, oh, well, shoot. They may be trying to save their money to be able to buy a house. So then they're not going to be in your property that long. So it's not easy to be able to do that. Now, it's possible, if you have property and it's all about the area, the timing. Like, if somebody moves out of your house in, say, for instance, you're in Michigan, somebody moves out of your house in December, most likely you're not going to get nobody to move back in there in January because it's too cold. So nobody's trying to move. So like, you got the climate that takes its part. Like, there's so many elements and nuances that you have to pay attention to, that you just got to have, I feel like to do mostly anything, you got to have the finances to support it. Like, if you want to start you're like, oh man, I'm tired of eating scribs. Let me start a pizza place. It's like, well, there are some diehard, and I used to be one of them. There are some diehard committals to Mr. Scribs, so
I'm still one.
Right. So it's not like, so it almost is but not, I wouldn't even say within Black folks. I think it's just a competition in general, but we tend to not want the competition to be at the same level. So as an example, you might say, well, Michael Jordan's great, LeBron is great. You'd be like, the first thing is almost like, well, LeBron didn't do da-da-da, or Jordan didn't do da-da-da. Like, it's automatically a competition, and they're both great. So it's like, it's even tougher, to start a business, say, well, I'm going to compete against Mr. Scribs, and Mr. Scribs has been here for what? Shit, as long
75 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna say at least the length of our existence, or but
yeah, I think it's 75 years. I think it's like 1950 something.
Yeah, so it's just crazy to think that now
But you know what, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
And working in tech, this is what I find: when the easier you make stuff look, people think it's easy to do, right? So it's like, oh yeah, I got on YouTube, learned how to make an app, right? Yeah, cool, you did that. But can you learn how to make an app that make money? Can you learn how to make an app that you can adjust? Like, so I got an app on the App Store, right? They make updates and changes, right? So now they made a change where it broke my app.
Yeah, it was you got to update and change at the same time.
Yeah, you got to update and change it. If you just because you went on YouTube and followed their directions, don't mean that you know the intricate this new change, and it's a new change. So it might not be in the documentation of that YouTube video that you was working with, right?
Yep.
So, like, none of this is easy. None of this is easy. But if you look at it like it's hard, you'll never do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I will say this. Like the one thing I find is like even if people look at it and think that you make it easy, people are like, oh, what he think he doing? Why he starting a pizza company? You know we eat Scribs in Muskegon. We know we eat, I don't know, chicken coop in Muskegon. Why is he, like, and then it becomes that. So it's like, then you can have like the best pizza in the world, but just because of the way that you started the business, people are going to, not say shun you, but they're going to literally be like, we don't mess with them. And then that becomes a reputation. And now your business is closed within like 6 months.
That's my problem with that's my problem with being back at home, right? Like when I was back at home, didn't nobody want to pay me $20 to build a website. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, this is what I do. But they'll pay somebody else because they're like, yo, he's in business, he's been in business. Dude, I've been in business longer than him. You know what I'm saying? But because I'm homegrown and because nobody else has validated me to you, now I go out of town, I make a whole lot more money than I would at home. You know what I'm saying?
But then it's like, well, why does he go out of town to do it? Why can't he do this at home?
Right. Yeah. It's a double whammy.
Like you can't win. Like I was looking at I don't know if you remember when T.I. So T.I., one of the things he said that he wanted to do is buy a bunch of properties in Atlanta and to have not low income housing, but just to have fair housing for people on the west side.
Yeah.
He was saying how he bought the property, did everything, then people were stealing out of the houses. People weren't paying rent. People and it was just like this dude like literally invested a lot of his money into it to make sure that you're straight, and y'all just kind of screw it up. It's like T.I. could have easily kept his money, put it in some business or talk to some financial advisors and
now he does. Now he's doing that mixed use over there by I get Bankhead and Bankhead, right? Yeah, over there in that he doing that mixed use community.
Bankhead. So, but I would think he probably doing it. Well, like I said, he's from Bankhead.
It's some property out there in Bankhead that he was doing the mixed use community that they were saying, oh, he trying to upscale the neighborhood.
Oh, that's what he was doing.
But here's the problem: you don't want to downscale the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing stuff, and this, you lost your mic. All right, so understanding where you at and knowing where you're trying to get to, like, and I'm gonna give it to you. Like, I'm gonna put a plug in for my new donut and coffee shop back at home. So I am working on a coffee and donut shop in Muskegon Heights. Right, It is something that I felt like would be nice in the location where
why
it
the
is.
fuck you got donuts, nigga?
Well, see, man, I'm not actually even making the donuts, but like,
no, I'm just saying, like, that's just how niggas be.
yeah.
But why you making coffee? We got Big B. We got I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know.
You do have those options, and I'm not opposed to having those options at my coffee shop. But like, I got location, right? And so like, what the whole thing is, I'm bringing Jeff Bezos' idea to a coffee and donut shop, right? It's gonna be a nice chill location where I have screens and video games to open up after the coffee shop is closed, so we can run some maybe do some game tournaments or whatnot, like I used to do with Madden and 2K. But the other ideal is that, look, like the hub, like Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon and he did the book thing, I am creating a hub for small businesses in Muskegon, Michigan. So we have all these people that do these plates and everything else. Well, you can order it on my website and pick it up at the building. You know what I'm saying? So that's the play on that. It is It is articulating what Black Wall Street is and adding that to the pitch, right? Like if you make chocolate covered strawberries, like I see some of these people that be out here selling them. I love the hustle and I embrace that. You wholesale it to me, I'll put on my website, orders come through, you fulfill the orders and we good.
No, but it's like that. I was saying it from the standpoint of people don't.
The hater.
Yeah. Why is Brian starting this? Da da da. Like, well, why is he doing this? And it's just like sometimes it's like, nah, just let people. I mean, people be like, why you record a podcast? Why you DJ? Why you do da da da? It's like, nah, these are the things that I want to do. Yeah, I'm not doing it to impact you. So
let them cook. Let them cook. What they say? Let them cook. Let them cook. Like the way I see it, and those are the type of people that you like. I have no problem with telling people because like that's why I had said it. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen, I'm go do whatever. Like, and that's one thing. Like, some people have a heart. I feel like this what not necessarily separates us from other people, but like we just like fuck it, we go do it. Like it don't whether you like it or whether you don't. You could be like, why the fuck you recording a podcast or why are you doing that? Because I want to and I'm gonna keep going. Some people just don't understand that if you want to do something just because they don't like it and you keep doing it, it's like, well, it's almost like you the op. It's like, no, I'm just doing what I want to do. It's just the idea in my opinion, is like the idea of agreeing to disagree. I don't have to, it's just like, arguing, like just very, this could be very offensive, but like somebody say, oh, well, I don't give head. Be like, well, I like head. So I don't have to, fuck with you on that sense that like, no, we agree to disagree. I ain't got to like, we can separate and you can do your own thing. Like, well, why does it always got to be about head? It's like, no, it's not about that. It's just from you telling me that it's something that I enjoy. It's just like video games. It's like, well, you say, well, I don't like
red flag. Video games is a red flag.
Yeah, it's like, well, shit.
I'm your red flag.
Like I am okay with the red flag, and you just got to keep it moving. It's like, everybody, like I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not for me. Like,
and the other part of that is like we not talking about it, we doing it, right? So I listen to your podcast. Every time you do it better, right?
Yep.
Every time you saying, hey, look, let me be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love people that tell me like, yo, Brian, like I sold a house that I fixed up with my own hands. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, you'll never get that much money for a house like that in the Heights. I was like, look, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?